What's up guys, Alex here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out the Ticpods 2 Pro version. These guys are $140 and they look a lot like AirPods, but we're gonna find out if they're worth your hard-earned money. Let's get right into it. Alright, so getting into the product itself, these are the Ticpods 2 Pro, and they also have a different version, which is just the Ticpods 2. They're $100, but these guys right now go for $140, which is dangerously close to Apple AirPods pricing. Now, with that being said, these are the Pro version, and obviously Apple has a Pro version that is a lot more than $140, but for that price tag, I really wanted to try them out and find out if they were worth that much money. So let's get into some specs. Starting off, these guys have between 3 to 4 hours of playback time. With the case, you're gonna get a total of 20 hours of playback. Now that's not a ton, but it's pretty standard affair when you consider that the AirPods do somewhat similar in time. They also have a few Qualcomm chips in there that help them do some smart features. This Pro version has the best Qualcomm chip. I think it's the 5121. I'll leave that right over here or something. But anyway, these allow you to be able to answer calls by nodding your head with gestures, to shake your head no, to decline a call, things that I've actually never used when I've had them, but honestly, they're pretty cool features. You can play, pause, or skip tracks, but you only can choose one of them, and you can set that by downloading the proprietary app. When I first got them, I thought the only thing you could do was skip a track, but once I got the app, I went in and found out that you can use the double tap feature on the side of these guys to be able to either use it as a play pause function, a skip, or go back. I wish that they had the ability to do all three. Obviously, it is a touch sensitive side of the earpiece, so I really hoped they would have added that. Maybe in a future update they will, but for now, you can choose one feature, and for me, after using AirPods for so long, of course, I switch it over to the play pause function. Now, one thing that these guys have that I really wish my AirPods had is the ability to slide on the side of the earpiece. It's a touch sensitive side, up and down to change the volume. It's super cool and it actually works pretty well. I find that if I'm pushing the volume up, sometimes the earbud felt like it was coming out of my ear, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It worked really reliably. And another thing they have is when you take the headphones out, they will pause the music. Now, this is a feature you can turn off in the app itself. I obviously didn't want that to be turned off because I love that feature with my AirPods. But what I did find is that the right ear didn't seem to be as efficient at pausing the music as the left ear did. Whenever I took my left ear out, it almost always pause the music immediately, but the right ear seemed to not be quite as dependable in that area. Now, one more cool feature that these guys have is that if you want to use these for translating, you can give one of these to somebody that you're trying to get to translate something from English to whatever language or vice versa. You can have them translate into your headphone. That is a function they have. Honestly, I don't think I would ever use that. I'm just gonna probably use Google Translate whenever I need something like that. But it's a cool feature that they have. Now, another feature these guys have is 2 microphones. One is to help using active noise canceling, but the unfortunate downside is that it only seems to be active noise canceling when it comes to phone calls, not to music listening. With the Apple AirPods Pro, you can obviously have noise canceling when you're listening to music, whatever you want to do. These guys only have noise canceling when it comes to phone calls, but it's supposed to help make your call sound a lot more clear. I didn't feel like the sound quality was mind-blowing when it came to audio quality, but it did seem to actually help reduce some of the background noise, so I do have to give them props for that. I just wish it worked with more things. Now, features aside, and there obviously were a lot, what do they sound like? Because if you have a great product or whatever, but it sounds like trash, it doesn't matter, right? So I compared these to what is obviously their nearest competitor, the AirPods, and I gotta say that overall, the sound quality was really similar, but only after I updated. There was a firmware update that I found in the app and it took forever to update, like 20 minutes, which seems excessive. I don't know how the process of updating them worked, but after the process, it felt like there was a genuine increase in sound quality. When I compared them to my AirPods, the sound signature was pretty similar. These guys actually have a slightly, I won't say more full fit in my ear. They are super comfortable. They don't have like the rubber tips. The original versions of them did, but they decided to take that off of these, and that makes them fit really conveniently in your ears. Now with these guys in my ears, they're not going anywhere. Like I said, they have a little bit of a tighter fit than my AirPods, and as you can see from the side, they sit in your ear very similarly to an AirPod, but the quality of the sound, because they seem to isolate the ear a little bit more than my AirPods, seems to have a slight boost in the bass, but not much. Overall, the signature and the sound quality is very similar. You can go into the app and actually put an EQ on your earbuds with these Ticpods Pro, but I didn't find that it made that much of a difference, honestly. I just stick with the classic if I were you, because I didn't notice much of a change. All right, so I wanna talk about some downsides and some reasons I wasn't completely in love with these guys. And first and foremost, I think some of it has to do with build quality. Now, when you look at the case, I really love that it was nice and thin. If I hold it up next to the Apple AirPods here, you'll notice that they are pretty similar in size. The width is pretty close. These are taller, but not quite as wide. And I love that they're super pocketable, but the quality on the actual holder itself isn't quite as nice, which I realize is being kind of nitpicky, but when you're at that price point for a product where there is a ton of competition in the market for AirPod clones or similar style headphones, I was really just hoping to see that there would be a little bit more attention to detail, especially with the Pro moniker. The top lid here just feels super cheap and flimsy. I do like that the AirPods, the Ticpods, I should say, sorry, magnetically fit into their case really simply. I love the size, but some parts of it, specifically the lid, just feel really cheap. So in conclusion, are the Ticpods 2 Pro actually worth it? And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say kind of, but mostly no. They are not a bad product. The flimsy lid isn't a deal breaker. The sound quality was pretty close to my AirPods. Battery life's good, has some great features, but $140 for something that doesn't work as good as my AirPods and costs close to as much as my AirPods just doesn't feel worth it to me. I think at this price point, if you're not a name brand that's huge like Apple is, and you don't have the ability to work seamlessly with a device like Apple's can, they added some cool features, but I needed that sound quality to blow me out of the water. So I know they're good, but 140 bucks is a hard sell. There's so many other products that look and do a similar kind of thing that I just don't know that I can easily recommend these at that price point. Well guys, that just about wraps up this video. What did you think? Are these right for you, or did it help you decide if they weren't quite worth the money? Hopefully it did. A huge shout out to Yassine for sending these out to me. What are you using on the daily? Are you using AirPods, the Ticpods, or some other kind of pod? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you comment down below with your favorite headphone that you use on the daily, and I will respond to every single comment. Thank you guys so much for your support, and follow me at ACDEBACA on both Twitter and Instagram. Like the video if you liked it, share it with a friend who needs to know about these things, or know not to get them, whatever your take is. Thanks so much again guys, and I'll see you in the next video.